Okay. Hi everybody. My name is Jessica Mayer. I am a board member of Inform Your Community. Uh, this is a program about animal welfare, and we are going to kick it off by telling you a little bit about Inform Your Community. Inform Your Community is an organization that tries to mix fun with serious topics. So we always have a good time here. And it's a, and we also try to to deal with really serious topics in a fun and light way. So before I kick this off, you can like us on Facebook. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. You can also go to informyourcommunity.org and look at all of our great programming that we have. And you can also hit that donate button and donate to us, because that's how we keep doing this great programming that we have. And I am a woman, let's see, with red short hair and dangling earrings. And my pronouns are she, her. And and I'm going to kick it off now to Miss Stacey, who is our wonderful CEO and a great woman in her own right. So kick it off, Stacey. Let's go. I cannot hear you.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Hopefully you can hear me now. I'm so excited to be here, and we're going to get us started with we're going to get started right now with a scavenger hunt is what we're going to do first. And towards that end, Tyler, if you can put up the scavenger hunt, that would be great. We're very excited. We do have some rules for a scavenger hunt. I'll go ahead and get started with those rules. So as Tyler puts up the slides for us. So during the scavenger hunt, all players need to turn on their webcams for the host, that's me, to know which player is arriving back first. Okay. The host will name 3 things on each slide. We have quite a few slides today. And sometimes these items may not seem very specific to the topic. Sometimes they're just fun metaphors for related ideas. Sometimes they're really hard to figure out. How do you get an object in your home that's related to that topic? All players will have a limited time per letter. Usually it's about 30 to 45 seconds, up to when that first person basically comes back. So, but ideally within 45 seconds to find up to the 3 items on that slide. All players who come back to the starting position, which is in front of your screen, before the countdown ends, qualify to show their items, assuming we have time. Sometimes we run out. And players must rush to find the items in their house and show them on their webcam within that time limit. The first one back with all 3 items, or as many as possible, are wins. And if they don't have the right items for some reason, or otherwise disqualified, then the next person and the next person, the next person will go through that list. The host will write down, that's me for this game, will write down the points won by each player, and each item is worth 1 point. We will have a winner for each of our games, and also at the end, we'll have a winner total. Each of our game winners will receive a certificate that they will, I have no doubt, proudly display in their home or workplace and show their friends and family. But in addition, the overall winner of both games, who has earned the most points, will receive by mail our little sticker kit for whales and our little whale shark wireless mini speakers. So there's actually some good stuff on the line here for the winner of the prizes. So I also want to mention that I'm female with actually kind of pinkish hair, with button earrings basically, and I'm wearing a flowered shirt, and my background is kind of white brick on one side and blue curtain on the other side. Very happy to be here, and my pronouns are she and her. Also, if you have any questions or anything you want to share with us during the event, please feel free to go ahead and put that in the chat. Or you can, as long as it's not during one of the game rounds, while people are like finding stuff, you can definitely feel free to unmute and let us know any questions or comments you have. So without further ado, let us get started. Our prize is on the table. We can go to our next slide, and we will immediately start once the slide's up for you guys to run around your homes and find items that relate to what is on the slide. So without further ado,
I'm getting my timer. Hold on.
Okay, good. We have a timer. That's even better.
Okay.
So great to have a tech person. Okay, let us know when we're started.
If you want to count us down, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. So go ahead and get your items. 30 seconds. In the meantime, we'll just chat amongst ourselves, wax eloquently about all things animal welfare. We do sometimes have music. I do want to point out that Amber, who's going to facilitate our second game today, does have an absolutely beautiful creature with her today. Do you want to take a minute and tell us what your creature is until
Yeah, so this is
back?
Terry. He is a Virginia possum. He just turned a year old. Didn't you, buddy? Yes, you did. Terry is non-releasable due to his severe hip dysplasia. So hip dysplasia happens basically when the hip balls don't fit into the sockets. And Terry was born with extremely shallow hip sockets. So his hips actually kind of float, like free float in his body. So he cannot walk in the traditional sense, but he gets around fantastically by crawling. However, we just moved to a new home and he's been so excited to explore it. He's been crawling even more than usual outside of his designated area, which is like really well padded. So he's actually scraped up his tail a little bit. So I am sort of cleaning and putting ointment, and I'm going to wrap his tail again. But I prototyped him. I'm calling it a scoot suit. The other day, it's basically a surgery recovery suit with a removable tail sheath that is made out of double layered flannel, so he can scoot around to his heart's content without worrying about scraping up his tail. I've tried wheelchairs with him and he said, absolutely not. No, thank you. No, thank you, friend. So, scoot
Amber,
suit
I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second and just to confirm something and to get our folks to show us their items, because it seems like we have at least one person back, but I definitely want to hear more in a little bit. Thank you so much for sharing. So cute. Is your lovely creature a possum? Wendy asked.
Yes, he is a Virginia opossum, commonly confused with the possum, which lives in Australia. They are similar, but not the same.
Excellent. That is good to know. Okay. Well, we definitely have at least one person back with their items. So if Tyler can help them show us their items, why don't we go ahead and see what people have?
Their screens are up, so I see them.
Oh,
yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, I think it's my view that I have that's not working for me. Okay, so what do we have? I think
Charlotte was back first. Yes.
Back first. Go ahead, Charlotte.
Okay, sure. Sorry if I'm a little loud in the background. I have a 3-year-old. Okay, so our pet currently is at Grammy's house, but this is her that I got on an album record cover from like it was a fundraiser. So this is Mia, our pet. From my son's room, I grabbed this lampshade that has the planets on it.
Awesome.
And then also from my son's room, sorry, I found the Sesame Street book that has Bert and Ernie and pigeons.
I am super impressed, Charlotte. That is amazing. That is amazing. Congratulations. Did anybody else want to show us their items? I see Christy might have some.
I can't see them.
Let's see. Did anybody else want to show us their items?
I
see.
do.
Yeah.
Can you see them?
Oh, I see. Is that like an astronaut? What is
It is
that?
an astronaut. Yes, it's an
So cute,
astronaut.
Christy. Yeah, so cute.
And then I have, for the pets, I have the Scooby-Doo van.
That was pretty
And
good.
then
What
for
was
the pigeon, I have feathers.
and feathers for a pigeon? I'm pretty impressed at everybody's creativity.
Mhm.
What was the Scooby-Doo pet? What was his name?
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby. Oh, of course.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo. We got
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo and Shaggy and the Mystery Machine.
And the mysteries. Okay, well, Christy, that we do give an extra point for the first one back. So Charlotte got the extra point, but Christy definitely got 3. And did anybody
Thank
else
you.
want to show us any items?
I've got my little globe with Pokemon in it.
All right, we can give Tyler 1. So Tyler gets a globe. Okay, Tyler.
I also have my SJC bird.
Okay, that's a bird, not quite a pigeon, but we'll
I
take
can
it. We
count
don't
it
know
as
where the-
pet.
Yeah. Oh, we can count it as pet. There you go.
I've got this fox too. So whichever one you want to put where.
I will give you 2 points for that. Fantastic. Okay, next letter, please. Countdown starts when we show it. Go ahead.
Oh man.
I'll give everybody.
I play this game on hard mode and I don't get up. So if
That's
I don't
true.
have it on my desk, it doesn't happen.
There you go. That's fair. Amber, did you want to finish telling us about the suit you were talking about?
Oh yeah. So I prototyped him a scoot suit. It is a surgical recovery suit, enhanced with a tail sheath that's made out of double layered flannel, so that when he scoots around, he doesn't scrape up his tail. Because he loves exploring, and I want to make sure that he can do that on his own terms, but safely. We believe that consensual care is extremely important with domestics and with wildlife. But we are not their whole lives in the same way that we are domestics' whole lives. We're just a small part of their life. So allowing them to maintain their autonomy and exercise their free will is extremely important. Right, Beth?
That is a great lesson for us all to remember for all of the pets we have and creatures in the world that we have to deal with. So I appreciate that. All right, do we have anybody that's come back with our items? And actually, while we're
I'm
waiting,
almost ready.
okay, I'll give you a minute. While you're doing that, I'm going to mention, because I'm completely slacking in my responsibility, I have to apologize for that, because what I'm supposed to do is tell you why we picked these words. So we
You're
had
very excited about the sheath.
course I
I'm ready.
Which could represent the word rehab.
so there you go. Okay, before we get to the R's, so it gives a little some people some more time to get some items. Okay, I'm going to go back to the P's for a second because, like I said, I was slacking here. Pigeon we had listed here because messenger pigeons. These were working animals who helped people to communicate. We don't really use them that much anymore, but they used to be fairly common. And today we have other types of working animals, like guide dogs, for example, who help guide people to help navigate their physical environments. We had the word planet, and we included this to raise awareness. And this is actually what Amber talked about a little bit to raise awareness about sustainability and related to animal welfare. You know, we need to have our planet for last a long time, and to do that, it is important to have respect for our animals and the way they live and their ecosystems. It helps to keep in mind that native animals, or the locals of a community, have been there for generations. They've lived in that environment, and that really few animals really intend malice, right, to humans. So we want to try to work with them to the best of the ability to make things sustainable for them and us working with them in this shared environment. More recently, 70% of related back to these pigeons and these working animals, 70% of, I just wanted to mention, of search and rescue work is conducted during natural disasters by dogs, which is really interesting. So so there's animals in the world that are really like helping us and working for us and with us. The reason pet is there, that shouldn't be a surprise, but it's in some ways a relative term. We want to mention that, what counts as a pet varies by country and even location, and also in how things are defined. There has been additional updating in laws related to animal welfare, including, for example, the Beagle Freedom Project that allowed states to permit adoptions of laboratory animals. So there's our P words that we had on our list. Before I tell you about the P, and actually, Jessica, I'm sorry, Tyler, is it possible to, when people are showing their stuff, to also focus on them?
I would have to stop the share, but yes.
What is with that?
I don't know how that happened. Anyway, so yeah, so that's fine if you want to stop the share. So fantastic. Why don't we go ahead and see the folks who have their R words ready? So who wants to show me their research item? I think, Charlotte, were you back again first?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, go for it.
So this is my name badge from a conference I was at yesterday and Tuesday, where I'm a research advisor. So that was, we did a presentation on a fairness dashboard with CAMH. And then responsibility is the little nugget that was just here and is now in another room.
I took too long to get to you. I'm sorry.
And then the rehab is this like foot balm for healthy feet. Malcolm, can you say hi? Hi.
What a wonderful responsibility to have. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for sharing. Fantastic. So there's your 3 points and your bonus for being the first back. Did anybody want to share some more items? Who else is in the game for this one? Tyler, do you have anything? Nothing on your table?
I do. Well, for research, I have a lot of books on my table, but I picked the closest notebook for research.
Okay, that works.
For rehab, I have a Band-Aid and an alcohol pad. Oh, and I have silver gel, which kind of works similar to Neosporin.
There you go.
And then for responsibility, I have my little sign that says, I'm not procrastinating, I'm on energy save mode.
There you go. There you go. I love it. I love it. Okay, we got to see if we can get Christy back in the running later and anybody else who wants to join us. But in the meantime, let's go on. Let me tell you, see, not slacking in my responsibility again. Let me tell you why we had these words. So research, and particularly animal research, refers to any kind of scientific research involving animals. Responsibility is an important value when it comes to animal welfare, as Charlotte mentioned, for her fur child, but much like too with our own pets, like Amber was telling us, most people take their pets and their animal welfare, the topic of animal welfare, very seriously. Rehab, finally, here is often takes place at an animal sanctuary, and that refers to a safe haven facility where designed to protect the animals for the remainder of their lives. For example, monkeys that might have been part of a research lab can go there and then stay there to live out a happy life thereafter. So thank you so much. I'm ready for our next letters. If anybody, if Tyler, you're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out a tech issue with the screen share.
Okay. I can, if you want, I can just tell people what they are. Should I do that to expedite things?
Here, it should be okay now, I hope.
There we go. Okay. Next letter is O, actually. So let's see those wonderful O words. There we go. Ocean, organization, and obtain. So I love to see everybody's creativity. So go to it. Anybody who wants to take part in this one, feel free. Amber, I know you have a little cute little opossum with you. And by the way, I totally did not know opossum and possum were different creatures. So thank you for sharing that. I've learned something myself, as I often do at our events. And but if you do have anything in your immediate space that fits any of the words, you're welcome to share them with us. And anybody else who's here on our call as well. But we'll see who can come back first. By the way, it's so much more fun when the people leave on their cameras while they're running around their apartment, because then you just see like as they go past their desk. Sorry, you didn't have to, Charlotte, but I just wanted to open that opportunity up. You don't have to have your cameras off during that time. But you can have them on or off as you prefer. And let's see. I think while folks are going to get their items, I think I'm going to go ahead and talk about these three terms. I know Charlotte is carrying her phone around, so it looks like you are able to hear me as we're doing this. So let me go back to my.
I also sent you a message that I need you to look at urgently.
I'm ready.
Okay. Oh, well, in that case, Charlotte, go on ahead.
Okay. For organization, I do have another name badge from AI for PH is Artificial Intelligence for Public Health, and I am one of their community advisory board members. So that's my, what was that, organization. My obtain is driver's permit.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations.
Okay. And then the ocean is my son's wallpaper mural.
Oh, that is amazing. I thought that was
So the Indian Ocean right there.
That is,
The
I
Arctic
love that.
Ocean.
That was something I only wanted to, I also wanted to do for my family. So it's super cool to see that there. Tyler, I may have fixed your tech problem if you want to go ahead and try one more time. Did anybody else have any items they wanted to show us?
I have water.
Water goes with, which one do you want to put? Oh, ocean, that works.
Ocean.
Ocean, absolutely. Okay.
I also have, I can't show my badge, but I have my badge on the other side of this badge holder. So
I believe you. Okay. That's funny. Okay.
Obtain, I mean, the whole thing is obtaining.
I'm giving you points for that one. We can't be that liberal in how we give out points, but I'll give you
I
two.
could grab anything and I've obtained it.
Okay, that I can give you credit for. Okay, fine. Okay, so here we go. The next word we have, oh, let me tell you about ocean. Let me tell you. Okay, so with regard to ocean, we wanted to mention there has been a 90% decrease in the distance across the ocean that blue whales can communicate with each other, that is, due to underwater noise pollution by ships and human-made sound. So, this is how the whales are communicating with each other. And yet, because of this kind of, we don't even think about it really, we experience noise pollution, but also ocean life experiences this kind of noise pollution that affects their ability to communicate as well. The reason organizations are here because they play a big role in helping animals, just like Amber's organization, which is Pocono Wildlife
Rehabilitation and Education Center.
Thank you so much. We encourage you to check that out. And I go to the Poconos on a regular basis. I'm very sure I've been involved with you guys at some point over the years. And in 1866, the ASPCA was formed. And we encourage you to volunteer at local animal shelters, another type of organization. Organizations like these need all types of support. So we encourage you to seek out opportunities to volunteer. And for those of you who are curious, ASPCA stands for American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. The word obtain is, we wanted to help you understand that one concern about animal welfare is that whenever we obtain something from an animal, such as milking snakes for venom to make anti-venom, or shearing wool from sheep, or even milking cows, that these are concerns that we need to be aware of whenever we're obtaining something from an animal. And animal welfare refers to the state of an animal within its living conditions. And concerns related to that include these concerns about their day-to-day health and well-being, as well as the survival of entire species, as well as trying to understand how are we obtaining things from animals. So without further ado, I will have Tyler go ahead and share the next letter. Although so far it's a blowout. Tyler's in the game. Christy was there for a little while, but so far it's Charlotte's game to win. So go ahead, Tyler, go for it.
I did.
There you go.
Tackle. Oh my goodness, I got to do that at my desk.
Good luck.
Uh, okay.
How are you doing over there with your opossum, Amber? Everything going well?
Yeah, he's good. It's not time for him to wake up, so he has decided I'm going back to bed, Mom. Come get me later.
It was lovely that you got to share him with us for a little
Yes.
while. That was such an honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Dan will thank him. He's a good boy. Yeah. He's a good
I'm so appreciative to him and you. And honestly, I'd have you come to any one of our events. We do events on all different topics, but
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm just going to have you come to all of them with any pet you want at any time. Okay.
Well, right now I've just got the 3 opossums. I have an elderly, and a blind elderly one. She came to us about 6 months ago with broken ribs. She'd been hit by a car, and she's recovering beautifully. She lives in my living room. And then I took home a very angry opossum. Janine, do you remember the very, very angry baby who was in the tanks the other day? The one who's walking around in circles? Well, she is now in my kitchen. Yes.
Oh my gosh, you have a house filled with adorable.
Wow.
I do. She's still learning that not all people are bad.
That's
And she'll be spoiled.
She will. We believe she is also at least partially blind, and the reason she's so aggressive is just that she's scared. So hopefully a quiet, stable environment will help.
Well, more power to you and all the great work that you do. Do we have folks who've come back with our T letter items?
I've risen to the challenge.
Okay, go for it. Tyler, you go first.
Okay.
I don't know if you were the first one back. I guess technically you
I
might have
didn't
been.
leave, so
So you might have been the first one back. So I might have to give that point to you.
you don't have to give that point to me.
Okay, I won't give you that point. Okay, go ahead.
So it's probably a terrible idea to use, but I know like bait and tackle can kind of go together, and I've got
Yeah.
raisins, so you can put that on a hook.
I did not know that. Okay.
I
Okay.
wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but you can put it on a hook.
Never knew that. Okay,
I
go
hope
ahead.
you stretched before you made that reach, Tyler.
But go ahead.
I have my notes on you can't see them, they're blurring, but my pronoun training that you helped me write 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. Okay.
And my blood pressure machine.
Oh, there you go for testing. That's 3 for 3 right there. And Charlotte, I know you've got some stuff. What do you got for us? Oh, there you are. Oh, Charlotte, are you able to?
Sorry, I just stepped out of my Wi-Fi zone because I went to my car, so I had to turn it off so I could have good connection. Okay, so is it my turn to share?
We've got you going to your car. I think that's a first in our scavenger hunt. Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
Okay, so for testing, I have pH strips.
There you go. Got it.
For training, I have essential car care for women.
Oh, nice.
But that was an afterthought. But what I came to the car for was my son's bug little capture kit thing. So that's what I was using for tackle.
That is impressive. I incredibly appreciate everybody's really, ingenuity in this. This is great. I'm going to kind of zip through the last ones because we still have a few to go here. Training is often involved when humans and animals interact, not just when humans and other humans interact. Arguably, the most important training is search and rescue work that's done during natural disasters. We mentioned before that is done often by dogs. Testing, we mentioned research earlier. It's good to know that research using animal testing is heavily regulated as an industry and is geared towards advancing science. Tackle is included here because we wanted to discuss the importance of humaneness when dealing with animals. For example, when fishing, it's important to use humane ways to hook a fish that where they will suffer less. For example, there are things called barbless hooks, which are better options if you're going to go fishing. to be more humane. So excellent job with that. And Charlotte and Tyler tied on that one because nobody got the 1 point for coming back first since Tyler acquiesced it. So, okay, Tyler, give us our next letter. There you go. Endangered energy and enrichment. I'm going to go ahead and start talking about these while we're getting these items. So endangered animals include various species of rhino, leopard, tiger, gorilla, orangutan, porpoise, elephant, and turtle. And these are among the top 10 most endangered animals. And it's kind of surprising, I think, for a lot of us, like tiger and, turtle that we think of as like, yeah, of course, everybody knows tigers and turtles and elephants, and yet these are on the endangered animals list. Imagine a world in which these animals are, only things we hear about in books or see in, see things about in museums. So really important to understand that there are animals we take for granted, right? As they'll be around forever. Enrichment, or specifically animal enrichment, involves stimulation activity for captive animals, such as playing fetch with a dog, if they're your pet. That helps domesticated animals, for example, but also animals in captivity for other reasons. And enrichment activities for animals help them to maintain their health and happiness, and often encourage them to engage in kind of natural behaviors. Energy is here on our list to remind us about the web of life. And this is also sometimes referred to as the energy transfer process. The idea here, you'll see in our infographic when we send that to you, send you access to that. And you will see how it depicts how energy is transmitted throughout an ecosystem. So, for example, plants feeding perhaps smaller animals, who then in turn feed more of the apex predator animals that are in a certain environment. So without further ado, let us get to that next letter.
Well, we didn't.
Oh, sorry, we didn't see these. I'm sorry, you're totally right. So who has our endangered, who has some items? Thank you for catching me on that, Tyler.
I'm ready.
Can I say something about the word energy?
Sure.
All right. They found out that plants talk to each other. Trees communicate with each other underground. Their roots communicate with each other.
Don't do that.
Highly
They
recommend
send-
the book called The Secret Life of Trees if you're interested in learning more about plant
That's great.
communication.
That's great. I'm going to put that in the chat. That is fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, Amber and Jessica. I appreciate that. Okay, who wants to show us their items? Did we have somebody come back?
I will let Charlotte
Yeah,
go first
I'm
because
ready.
I mostly play for
Okay.
fun.
Okay, go ahead, Charlotte.
Endangered. This is just fake, but it's my tiger rug.
I love it. Love it.
Enrichment is this photo voice project that I was a part of, what just like capturing, meaningful things in your life through photos, and it was put in the book. So that was enriching. And then energy, I have a light bulb in a recyclable packaging format.
That is fantastic, and I love the recycling part of that. Excellent. Tyler, do you want to go quick?
Sure. Again, I have my eagle. They're no longer endangered, but they were once endangered.
Excellent.
I have a battery.
Good.
And this kind of is energy and enrichment. I've got my kind bar for breakfast, and then my kinder snack. So
There you go. I
enriching my
like that.
life.
I like that. Nicely done. Nicely done. Anyone else want to show us anything?
No, but if I could slide in for a second, we do have quite a few endangered species here in Pennsylvania. Some of the ones that I have worked with include the northern flying squirrel, the short-eared owl, and the small brown bat.
Wow.
Yes, so we have about, oh gosh, 30, I think, almost 30 endangered species here in Pennsylvania. Most of them are birds, and unfortunately, it is due to habitat destruction. We see a lot of water birds in particular on that endangered list, just as the bald eagle once was, because our waterways here in Pennsylvania and across the nation are no longer what they were or what they need to be in order to support a diverse array of wildlife.
Thank you for reinforcing some of the messages that we talked about in terms of sustainability and the planet, and I appreciate that. And I'm sorry to hear it, of course. Tyler, are we ready to go to our next? We have 2 more letters, I think.
Oh God.
Yes, let's go. Here we go. Cruelty-free cat and conflict. And while our folks are going to get those, I'm going to go ahead and talk about them. So cruelty-free as a term is something to consider when buying your products like shampoos and conditioners. You might even be searching for some of those right now, not to, cheat or anything, but you may have some in your home, in your shampoos or conditioners. So something to think about when you're shopping. Cat. I have 2, although neither one of them are anywhere around that I can pick them up and show you. But in 1966, the Animal Welfare Act, again, AWA, was passed, creating laws that covered dogs, cats, monkeys, guinea pigs, hamsters, rabbits, and other warm-blooded animals. So cats were one of those. Also, human-wildlife conflict, a specific type of conflict, refers to the process through which ecosystems change, and then that forces people and wildlife to share spaces that are becoming increasingly crowded. For example, and I think that's a little bit of what Amber was telling us in her example there. So I appreciate
I'm
that.
ready.
Charlotte's
Me
back.
too.
Okay, Charlotte, go for it. You're getting the extra
Okay.
point. Go ahead.
So cruelty-free, yes, I have my shampoo that has the cruelty-free label on it.
Happy to see it.
Cat, I have this cat shirt. It's a button-up blouse.
Aww.
And for conflict, I have these 2 strong magnet hooks that got put together by accident, and I cannot separate them because they're that strong of magnets. They're supposed to be individual ones that, you stick on your fridge to hang stuff. So they're in conflict. I'm in conflict with it. It's conflicting.
That's pretty good. I'm impressed. And Tyler, did you want to share anything?
Cat.
Cat, do you actually have your cat? Wait, am I missing
Not
it?
with me, but I have a
Okay.
picture.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Got it. Nice.
Cruelty free, I have my affirmation card deck.
Aww.
And conflict, I have my journal that I use for therapy.
That's great. I love it. And by the way, Tyler does this not allowed to get up. So that's pretty impressive that Tyler's coming back with the, keeping up a good pace here. Okay, and by the way, Amber put in the chat that cruelty-free kitty is a great option for finding cruelty-free personal care and cosmetics items. A great resource for that. I did not know that, so I'm very happy to see that. Thank you for sharing that as well. Okay, and so we can go ahead. I think did I tell you about these
Yes.
yet? Okay, great. We can go ahead with our next words. If you can put them up, Tyler.
Yes.
I'm afraid, Amber, you might have to like fast talk through the
That's okay.
Thank
I
you.
can do that.
Tiger, transportation, and tracking.
Thank you. Good luck, guys. I'll tell you more about these. Tiger is on here because of a show you might have seen called Tiger King, as well as what we said previously about endangered species. Tiger King was released in 2020, and it led to some outrage that then facilitated changes in laws that were governing exotic animals. Tracking is important for animal research, which we also referred to earlier. It's also important just for the health of animals, like when we bring them to their vet. Or pets to their vets to have their health tracked, right? And also tracking species to see if they're endangered, if there's new species on that list, or like Tyler said, the eagle is no longer on the list. And to help in general with conservation efforts. Tracking also helps us to understand and learn more about animals and actually even invasive species, for example, and proper handling of invasive species. For those of you who might remember the good old spotted lanternfly that affected places like New York a few years ago and still a little bit around. As for transportation, that's one of the many ways animals work for us, like we talked about before. For example, there are 16 million animals who served in a working capacity during World War I. And one of the ways that they worked for us during World War I is horses, camels, donkeys, and mules worked as transportation. Dogs and pigeons worked for communication. Canaries, dogs, and cats worked for protection. Dogs, cats, lions, bears, foxes, and monkeys worked for companionship and morale boosters for troops and other people during the war. Later, sea lions and dolphins were even trained to detect bombs. So transportation is one way that animals have been trained, but lots of other ways as well. So thank you for that. Let's see our folks here. What do you have for us? Charlotte's ready. Oh my gosh, what is that a stuffed animal, Charlotte?
So this is a backpack.
Oh,
And yeah, it's a plush tiger's head that I just have hanging off my wardrobe.
that is fantastic. I love it.
Then for tracking, I have this like car game. It's like a spot it when you're driving,
Nice.
like a game for kiddos in the back seat. And then transportation, I have things that go board book with sliding, in transportation like things of the alphabet in here.
That is
That's not fair. She has children.
So do
This
I.
has been a bit easier, but yeah.
Although I give her credit because
Yeah.
Charlotte could have picked the same tiger rug she showed us before, and she didn't. She found a new tiger item, so she's taking it up a notch. Tyler, did you want to show us anything?
I have a car key.
A
It's not
car.
my car key. It just happened to be in my pocket. My car key's in my room, and I wasn't getting
Okay,
up.
that works.
I have the same thing as before, but he's kind of the Pokemon in there is kind of like a little tiger Pokemon. So
Oh, there you go.
I went with that. And then tracking, I have my Find My app from my phone.
Nice, nice, clever, clever. Well, you folks are amazing. I am so impressed. And as close as it was, I'm gonna have to give the edge to Charlotte because you definitely came back first for some of them. Even though Tyler had them on their desk, there were definitely a couple you came back first for. So Charlotte gets the win for this game. And without further ado, we're gonna quickly transition. And Amber, if you're, it looks like you're
What's
free.
the word?
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's true. Well, we're going to leave the word if we need a tiebreaker. We're going to hold off on the word for our tiebreaker later. But if we need it, otherwise we'll tell you and definitely remind me to tell you. But let's go ahead and we'll do our second game, which is the trivia. Amber, if you need any help with it, just pass the baton to me or let me know.
Okay.
And here we go. So we can move on to the instruction section.
All right, so trivia rules. First, each round has a different way to respond. You must respond in that format with the correct answer in order to win that round. Second rule, the host has the final decision for deciding who points are awarded to, no arguments. And third, the host will write down the points won by each player. Each item is worth 1 point. Are you ready?
That is fantastic. I have to mention we took off the instructions about which way to respond. So that's my fault. I forgot to took it off the instructions. We're going to say everybody's got to respond first person to the chat is what we'll say. If anybody has difficulty with responding in the chat, let us know. You can raise your hand. We'll try to spot it as soon as we can. Thank you. And without further ado, I think we can go to our first question on the trivia.
Okay. Question number 1. Which is not a documentary you can watch to learn more about animal welfare? Is it A, Blue Planet, B, American Scar, C, Freeheld, or D, Shark Water?
I can't answer. I made the questions. I do intentionally not look at the scavenger hunt if I was not a part of making it so that I can play.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to put my answer in the chat. I was raising my hand.
Oh, sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna guess that I'm guessing C.
I don't have the answers, so I'm gonna have to leave that to Stacey.
I'm happy to share the answers with you. Okay, well, definitely. So the answer is C. There are a lot of great documentaries out there about animal welfare, and we do encourage you to seek them out, not just the ones here, but there's lots of others. Also, by the way, Blue Planet is like the gold standard for these types of documentaries and contains some of the most beautiful footage and interesting images of animals interacting with their native environment you would ever see. So I encourage you to watch that one in particular. Thank you very much. That is the right answer, Charlotte. Okay, and next. And by the way, you don't need to have your camera on for this one. So welcome to participate even without your camera on in this one. Just go ahead and write your answer in the chat first.
All right, question number 2. When did General Motors stop using live animals in crash tests? Is it A, 1966, B, 1993, C, 2007, D, 2012, or is it E, they still use live animals in crash tests?
See, oh, Janine put in the answer here, I think, as C. Was that the answer to this question or the last question? Oh, I think that might have been the last question. Was this question?
This
The book.
question, that is
This
not the correct answer for this question.
that is not the correct answer. So it's still Jessica got this
Jessica.
one.
I'm
Okay,
responding E.
and you were responding E. So actually, luckily, it is not E. So Jessica got a point for this one, and thank you for participating. It is luckily it's been a while since they've used live testing. It's the second oldest date on our list, which is B 1993. But relatively speaking, that's only like 30 years. It's not really that long, sadly. 1966 is when the AWA, that Animal Welfare Act, was passed. And we talked about that already. So, yeah, there you go. Thank you, Jessica, for getting that one. Okay, next.
All right, question.
I'm going to continue to answer B for all of them.
No, that's no fun. Okay, go on ahead.
Okay, question number 3. Which of these terms / designations specifically refers to a safe haven facility to protect animals for the remainder of their lives? And if you were listening closely, Stacey did mention the answer to this one earlier. Is it number 1, a zoo, 2, an animal shelter, 3, a wildlife center, 4, an animal sanctuary, or 5, a wildlife refuge?
Charlotte got it first, but there are several correct answers in the chat.
Uh-oh. Charlotte raised your hand first. Is that what you're saying, Tyler?
No, it's in the chat.
Oh, Charlotte said 4, which is D, but looks like everybody's in the game now. But yes, it is 4, which is animal sanctuary. So another point for Charlotte. Animal sanctuary refers to a safe haven facility, most often privately owned, to protect animals for the remainder of their lives, as we talked about before. And the focus is on rehabilitating and caring for the animals, particularly when they can't be released back into the wild. And Amber, thank you for being somebody who does that kind of work. In contrast, animal shelters are temporary housing, and zoos are for education, conservation, and for entertainment. A wildlife refuge is typically in a naturally occurring location that is for wildlife, and it is usually managed by the government, actually, and it's for the protection of the animals who naturally live there. So thank you so much for that, and Charlotte for the win on that one. Although I'm glad to see we got some steep competition here. Okay, next.
All right, number 4. Who is not known for having some association with animals and their welfare? Is it A, Betty White, B, Bob Barker, C, Jane Goodall, D, Genesis Butler, or E, all of the above are known for this?
Let's see. Okay, and we had a few answers here, but for the win, it's Christy. Christy for the win on this one with the correct answer, E. Janine, you got back first, but correct answer is E. It is all of the above are known for this. Many folks, like the Irwin family, are also known for their association with animals. But the Irwin family, Jane Goodall, as probably the most recognizable for her work with chimpanzees in the wild. But the concern for animal welfare is strong with all of these names here that are mentioned, including Genesis Butler, which may be the one we're not as familiar with. Genesis Butler is an animal rights activist who's kind of started her visibility with this as being one of the youngest people to ever give a TEDx talk at the age of 10 that was about our planet and animals and animal rights and so forth. So, and she's
You want to hear something
advocate.
funny about Jane Goodall?
Sure.
If you ask her what her favorite animal is, she says it's not chimpanzees, it's dogs, because chimpanzees are too much like people.
That is a funny story. I'm super impressed. And I like that Christy knew the answer to that too. That should have been one of our questions. Okay, go ahead, Amber, take us away.
All right, number 5. What are some ways that you can help with the cause of animal welfare? A, volunteer your time in one of the locations we mentioned in question 3. B, share our animal welfare infographic, which you will have access to soon in our post-event email. C, commit to 1 weekly action to raise awareness about animal welfare. Or D, all of the above and many more ways too.
And our winner is Charlotte. And it is D. That is true. All of the above ways and many more ways too. So, and you were the first one to, I think everybody got it right, but you were the first one to get that back. Thank you folks so much for doing this. And that extra question gave Charlotte the edge. I think I feel like I'm missing one person on one of these. We had 5. I have Jessica for 1, Christy for 1, and Charlotte for 2. Who got that other question? Who am I missing?
I don't know which question that you're talking about, so that doesn't really help me.
Yeah, I don't remember which. Okay, if it was anybody but Charlotte, let me know, because that might give you a tie. But if it was Charlotte, maybe Charlotte got 3. So let me know in the chat if you won anything more than 1. But otherwise, it's Charlotte for the win. In which case, that makes it easy, because then Charlotte is going to not only get your certificate for the games, but also you'll get this lovely prize. Charlotte, please do me a favor and go ahead and email me at the email address I'm about to put in the chat with your mailing address, so that we can go ahead and send it to you, send you your prize. Thank you to Amber for doing a great job with the trivia and for bringing us a pet. And then I think, and thank you everybody for participating. Super fun to have everybody involved in that trivia game. That was so exciting. I was really close there for a while. Without further ado, we'll hand it back to Jessica.
Okay. Remember to take 1 action per week to do something for an animal. Like I do something for my dog every single day. And I say hello to many dogs out on the street, and I love dogs. So, that's not just what I mean. I mean, give money to an animal shelter, volunteer, do one thing. Think before you use a plastic bag. It's just, and reuse stuff instead of throwing it out, because it's just better for the environment and it's overall better for the animal too. So, I have a question to ask Amber.
Sure.
Amber, do possums like ticks?
That is a common misconception. While they will eat ticks, it is not a primary part of their diet. That study was very skewed because they limited the opossum's diet while in that study before testing their stomach contents. So so that conclusion was a little erroneous. But they are nature's garbage disposal, just like the vulture. They love to eat carrion, roadkill, which is unfortunately one reason we see them on roads so often. And they are an absolutely indispensable part of our environment. But thank you so much for having me. Please visit us at poconowildlife.com. Our mission is to rescue, rehabilitate, and release. And one more plug, guess what else you guys can track this summer besides research statistics? You can track your reading by heading on over to your local library and participating in their summer reading program. Maybe grab a book about animals. Thanks so much for having me.
Sure. So anyway, I just wanted to say, thank you for coming. You all for coming. And once again, please donate. Hit that donate button when you go to our website.